We're talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going. It is gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in. Thank you, Dalt, to the Phillies post-game show. I'm Jess, joined as always by Fratty. We got Dalt in the house. Unfortunately, guys, the Phillies could not get the win and drop the series to the Cleveland Guardians, guys. Tough loss.
Very frustrating, tough loss. I mean, when the Phillies are that close to doing what they can do, and, you lose to the Guardians, the only positive in this is at least we get to see Rhys Hoskins play well and get a win, because I like Rhys. I'm a Rhys Hoskins fan personally. But when you look at the right-handed bats today, just not good overall. You got Alec Bohm and JT Realmuto for a combined 0 for 8. 0 for 4 each, not looking good. Adolis Garcia 1 for 3, and Edmundo Sosa 0 for 2. So literally 8, 12, 3. So you got 1 for 15 right-handed batting today. It's not going to win you games, guys.
No, it's not. Fratty, what do you think?
This hasn't been a good week. 2-4 a losing homestand. You come into the homestand after sweeping the Pirates last week. Things were looking so high for the Phillies, and then it comes crashing down again. And what can I say? This team's driving me crazy. It's driving me absolutely nuts. This offense is inconsistent, and the fact that I have to look at those Padre fans and Dodger fans coming up makes it even worse. And I'll get into the California thing, road trip later, but the offense has to start getting it going again, because this will not get you in the playoffs playing like this. Playing like you're like the worst team in the league. You only scored 4 runs this whole series. 4 runs. And it's not like the Guardians dominated you. The Guardians only scored 4 runs themselves. The total runs, 4-4, were even. You still find a way to lose the series against the Cleveland Guardians. And the run differential was zip between both teams. Nobody outscored each other, which was a pretty weird stat. The runs really came at a premium this series, and it's a real shame that I know Zach Wheeler pitched yesterday, but it's good yesterday. Wheeler and Sanchez are looking like Cy Youngs right now, and this team is a game under 500 again after being 2 games over 500. We crashed right down, and I'll tell you what. We don't get our act together in the next 4 series, we're in trouble, guys. We're in deep trouble. This is starting to be a concern. And I get it, Don Mattingly. I get this team was playing well before the Pirates series and into the Pirates series, and then a game after the Pirates series. But then since then, we've only won 1 game. So is it time to panic yet? Not quite, but is it time to panic soon? perhaps because we can't fall 10 games under 500 again. We can't afford to fall over even 5 games under because look at the wild card standings. I mean, I don't know how. I think we might be almost 5 games back again. So we got to get it. This is really starting to become a big concern coming up here. So we're gonna see really where this Phillies team is. This is really going to tell you who the Phillies really are. If they are contenders, if they are pretenders, or if they're just in the middle right now. These next 4 series. So
Yeah. Well, before we move on to our next topic, there's one guy that has been driving me nuts the last few weeks, and I don't think he's getting enough. I don't want to say hate, but not getting enough attention. That's Trey Turner. This guy, when the Phillies signed him with the Dodgers, he was hitting about 300 on the nose. And as a Philly, he's hitting 280, and he has an OPS drop of, I believe, 10 to 15%. Now, this has become, I guess, a trend with the Phillies. You sign a player like Nick Castellanos, for example. He's a guy that was tearing it up with the Reds, and he comes to Philly and he dies. Not dies, but his bat dies. And Trey Turner, while guys like Alec Boehm get all the hate, all the criticism in the world, where is it for Trey Turner? The same guy that is making the $300 million contract like Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, at least, has proved the doubters wrong and is still elite, whatever. Trey Turner, this guy is not what he is hyped up to be. He is just not. But, yeah. Let's move on to some more positive news, guys. And that is Andrew Painter. Like Friday said, he pitched well, just like Christopher Sanchez, just like Zach Wheeler the other day. So, guys, what has Andrew Painter been for this team this year? Friday, we'll start with you.
I think he's exceeded expectations. I mean, talk about a guy that thankfully replaced Taiwan Walker after we pretty much released Taiwan Walker, send him on the other side of the coast. I don't even want to talk about that name anymore. Los Angeles, but Painter, I'm so glad he's on it. I'm so glad he's a pitcher on the team, even though he's a rookie, even though he still has to learn some things, but he looked pretty good today for the most part, except I think for the 5th inning. But I'm glad this guy right here, Andrew Painter, has guts, unlike Taiwan Walker. I mean, come on now. Let's be real here. I mean, he fits it into this rotation well. But like I said yesterday about Andrew Painter, he may look good now, but the postseason, if we make the playoffs somehow, which playoffs, I don't even want to talk about playoffs right now. I'm just saying, when it comes to the October environment, is he ready? Is he really ready for that? He may look decent in the regular season, but playoffs are a whole different ball game for Andrew Painter. So I think his next start will be against the LA Dodgers, I think on Saturday night, I believe. So he gets to face guys like Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, Mookie Betts, and all. I'm going to tell you what. Dalton, if KJ McCoy watches at some point, and everybody else, Constantine, whatever, and Jesse, this start for Andrew Painter coming up Saturday will really be a test to see if he's actually the legit of the legit. He is getting, I think him, having that experience against guys like I mentioned, Otani, all those guys, that superstar lineup. And don't get me wrong, me and Jesse picked Dodgers to win it all, but I still can't stand the Dodgers. It's going to be a big test. I'm telling you, boys, it's going to be a big test coming up for Andrew Painter in his next start. And I think it would be Saturday night when it's on TV. So get your popcorn ready for a Saturday late matinee, our time, going into Sunday morning. That should be must see TV later this week from Andrew Painter against those guys. I just hope he doesn't get smacked around with Otani and them.
I love how you describe it, a late matinee. I mean, beautiful. I think I'm with it, Fratty. You know what? Give Andrew Painter some more opportunity to develop, because to answer your question from earlier, Jesse, what question mark? Just calling it like it is. He's really been a question mark. He's been a developmental prospect. I just looked up his stats while Friday was speaking backstage. I think he's played in 10 games and he has 39 strikeouts. So 10, divided by 39, or 39 divided by 10, if you're doing the math, he's averaging 3.94 strikeouts a game that he goes into. I know, he has 7 or 5 starts, I think it is. So I don't think Andrew Painter's bad by any means, but I don't think that Andrew Painter is where we want him to be yet, if that makes any sense. Like, I think as Phillies fans, we all had this expectation that Painter would be by far dominating, kind of Skeens-like, right? Like the impact that Skeens had when he came to the Pittsburgh Pirates, we all thought we were going to have similar impact with Andrew Painter. And unfortunately, that's not the case. But it's not like Andrew Painter hasn't been good. Like, there's been great moments with him. He's just developing, And you look at the rest of the Phillies team, look at somebody like Justin Crawford, right? Crawl Dog. He has developed tremendously. Nobody would have seen that coming. So you win some, you lose some. That's how the sport goes. But I don't think that we should hit the panic button on Andrew Painter yet by any means. I still think that there's plenty of time for this guy to keep growing, keep developing. And you look at it, I mean, still half the season is there, if not a little bit more than half the season. So he's got plenty of time to still get it right, develop, learn from his mistakes that he's made, because people forget that, like, this is his first real serious season in the MLB. And that's a very big adjustment to make, no matter what. And on top of it, he's playing for one of the most difficult sports cities in the USA, in Philadelphia. So I think that he's decent overall. If I had to give him a letter grade like a teacher, right, I would probably give Andrew Painter somewhere in the B- to B range, which is great. Like, it could be worse. We could be talking about a C+. We could be talking about a C. We could be talking about a D. We could be talking about an F. So it could be a lot worse. So I think, look, he's a human. Give him time to develop. It's not the easiest job to go out there and pitch in front of the city of Philadelphia every week either.
Absolutely, guys. Now, going into hang on, let me get my camera working. There we go. Now, going into this now it's not a home stretch. We've got a big stretch of West Coast ball, if you will. We've got the Padres to start that off. This is going to be a huge test, like Painter, like, it's going to be a huge test, like Fratty said, not like Painter said, like Fratty said, not just for Andrew Painter, but for this offense as a whole. They're going to be West Coast games. They're going to be late games. We always know, we know how the West Coast treats us. Not very nicely, may I add, which is unfortunate. But you got a new manager, new vibes, so potentially you could have better fortunes. You've got still the MV3, Bryce Harper, tearing it up. You've got Kyle Schwarber, who is coming off a ankle injury, so we'll see what happens to him. You've got still the best top of rotation guys you can possibly ask for in Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler. These guys are incredible. These guys are, Freddie mentioned it last night, these guys are 2011 rotation, 2011 Phillies rotation-esque players. They're elite. All-stars in my opinion. But that's here nor there. You still you've still got those guys on the team. Alec Bohm, as much as we've hated him, has been on a tear these last couple of weeks. Bryson Stott leads the league in RBIs in the month of May. So there are positive signs, there are positive vibes going into this game, but a game like this certainly doesn't help. And if you've got a guy like Aaron Nola in the bump, chalk it up. We're chalk. We're done. But if you have this offense rolling, I feel like we are in good hands, especially against the bum that is Nick Castellanos. I know Dalton is probably cringing backstage, but you know what? It is what it is. Guys, how do you think the Phillies are going to do against the Padres?
It's funny you say that too. I almost brought his jersey down to the shore this weekend, but I looked at it and I remembered the team that we were playing. You'd be proud of me, Jesse, and I hung it back up in the closet. So I picked up the Wheeler one instead. So I got you. But I'm excited for this series. I think this is gonna be the Nick Castellanos series. Now that we're talking about him, you kind of just spoke his name into existence, Jesse. That's how Castellanos works, in maybe a good way or a bad way, right? Like there's no in between with Nick either. He's either going to go the hell off on the Phillies this series and embarrass us and make us regret letting him walk and rub our nose in it, or he's going to just look terrible and we're going to go, okay, that's why we got rid of Nick Castellanos. That needed to happen. It is what it is. As a Phillies fan, I'm hoping it's more option 2. As a Nick Castellanos fan, I wouldn't be shocked if it's option 1. But like this series, this is going to be gritty. I think that this is going to be a good series for Casty too, because you go to San Diego. So I feel like Nick's going to be a little bit more comfortable than he would be playing in Philly. Like, I know he's Mr. Tough Guy. He'd like to act like he would be okay playing in Philadelphia. And I do think that that's true. But at the end of the day, I think that the Phillies, this could be a tune-up series for them. You know, you got the Padres, then the Dodgers. So it's really like a West Coast road trip, like Jesse was saying. And then you have, after that, the White Sox, too. So
Padres again.
Oh, the Padres again. Yeah, so you
At
got
home.
the Padres like a sandwich with a Dodgers Oreo almost. So you got Padres, Dodgers, Padres, then to the White Sox. And yes, you will host the Padres in Philly after, which is nice. And then you'll host the White Sox after. But going to LA, these are going to be some late games too. So just an FYI to everybody watching. Very proud of Jesse. Very proud of Fratty. Very proud of Billy. Very proud of the entire 302 Birds Phillies postgame. Shout out to Jonah for hopping on here as well. Everybody involved. KJ, the whole 9. Everybody has been stepping up to make sure that we give coverage for the Phillies. We're just lucky that they haven't gotten rained out. But now that they're going to the West Coast, we'll see if they get slept out, because we will do our best. But when those games end at 1 o'clock in the morning, it ain't easy. I'm hoping, though, that the Phillies offense isn't asleep, because it's been up, it's been down. Overall, the past 15 games, I would say they've been great. But we need to be good consistently through 5-game spans. And I feel like through the past 5 games, they're kind of letting up a little bit. They're taking that foot off the gas pedal. And will they get back to it? I think that they will. They're the Fightins. They're the Philadelphia Phillies, for God's sake. But I'll believe it when I see it. We all got to be really hard on this team this year if we want that end goal. Fratty wants to be partying it up on World Series with 2 chicks in his arm, screaming, "Let's go Phillies." Right, Fratty?
Yeah, definitely. But overall, what I think about this Padres series is 2 things. The beat, the La Jolla, California. I know shout out to my mom's friend from San Diego, who lives in San Diego, Charles. He's not really a big sports fan, but he lives not far from Petco Park. I think he lives like 15 minutes away from Petco Park, I believe. He doesn't live far, 15, 20 minutes, I think. He's definitely not that far, but shout out to him. We're going out to where he is this week. Well, I'm not. We're Phillies are, but nice. San Diego's a nice place. I've been near Petco Park before, haven't been in it, and I've been in La Jolla. This is 2023. I'm talking about. I've kind of seen the back of Petco Park and all. I'm just telling you, but that's just a quick story on that. Overall, but what do I really think of the Phillies versus the Padres in this series? Like I said, I think it's good we're getting away from the West Coast to the West Coast in a way, but I do think that the Phillies will bounce back and win the series. I'm not going to say sweep. I think we win 2 games, 2 games against San Diego. We have to win 2 of 3 at least, and I'm predicting that we win 2 of 3. I don't think I'd be shocked the way this team is playing right now. I would be absolutely surprised if we sweep the San Diego Padres. So we got to have we. I think we win 2 of 3 against San Diego. And I know I'm going more of an outlook, guys. I'm also just predicted now. I think we lose the series against the Dodgers in LA this time.
Yeah.
I see us having. We can't have no worse than a 500 road trip. We've got to stay a game of either at 500 or a game below. No worse than that. We can't go no worse than that. So honestly, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 3-3 the next 6 games. I hope it's better. I hope we go 4-2 and 5-1. But the way we're playing, I'd be lucky to be at 500 on this trip. So
Yeah, that's fair. It's a good time though. As always. Guess what, folks? It's time for Friday's Corner.
Yo, Friday, give him the business. Only in South Philly. Only at Friday's Corner. It's Friday's Corner.
well, everybody, Phillies lose. We're off to San Diego. But to make everybody, even though we lost today, I didn't really watch the Mets game. The New York Mets got shut out to the Miami Marlins today, 4-0. They lost the series versus the Marlins, I think 3 or 4 games, and they're sitting there in last place in the NL East. You losers, Frank the Tank, Matt Blair, JJ Seggs, all you losers out there who think you're better than the Phillies right now, that you're laughing at us, saying we're the laughing stock of baseball. Rethink it, because you can't even win a series versus a bunch of no names. That with Bo Bichette and all those guys, that's what he gets. We get you guys out there. I mean, come on, you guys can't win the series versus a team with a bunch of no name players. That's sad. That is absolutely sad. You all should be ashamed of yourself. And if you think you're going making the playoffs, forget about it, because come June, come next month, when we play you guys 6 times, that's going to be, and I'm calling it right now, we may be nuts. I may be nuts, but the Phillies are going to finally win a series at Citi Field this season, maybe even next month. I'm calling it right now, because you guys think we're going to win the series. You think we're going to choke, but we have Philly Don now, and I don't think Philly Don wants to lose a series at Citi Field again. So I'm calling right now. We're going to demolish the Mets next month. We might go 5-1 against the Mets next month. But if the New York Mets play like that, forget about it, because Bo Bichette stole my joy away. That's what he gets. He's sitting there they're still sitting there in the basement, I believe, right now. Matt Blair, listen, shout out to you. I know you and JJ Seggs are Knicks fans, but you guys can celebrate that all you want. All you New York fans who want to act like who you guys are good. If they win tomorrow night, you all are going to act like fools. You're going to act like fools and do stupid stuff, because you don't see Philadelphia fans go out in the street and act like fools every single night. So just put that in mind. You talk about us doing bad stuff, but yeah, you guys act like fools, celebrate wins in the street every game. So I can't listen. I mean, Nova players are there. I know I'm getting off topic, but listen, you guys are acting. You guys, when it comes to the Mets, once the Knicks are over, you guys have nothing to cheer for. And even your Giants stink too. And even the Jets stink too. So you guys, once the Knicks are over, you guys might as well just forget about even getting excited about sports again the football season. So
Hey guys, what's the difference between a trash can and the city of New York? Nothing. They both stink. I don't know. That was something off the top of the rim. I'll say this: if you were born in the city of Philadelphia, you're born and raised to hate the New York Mets. You're born to hate the New York Mets and the city of New York. Honestly, I'll give the Knicks. I will give the Knicks fans their props. They came into Philly. They took over the Wells Fargo Center, or the Xfinity Mobile Arena. But that does not mean that Frank the Tank isn't a bum. That doesn't mean that JJ Segler isn't a bum. Even though I'm very into this, and I've met him maybe once, the New York Mets are forever bums. It is what it is, and I am looking forward to the day that the Phillies go into Citi Field and kick the crap out of the New York Mets. But yeah.
I can't wait for, like I said to you, I cannot wait for that next month. That's just, honestly, besides the Dodger series coming up, and maybe this upcoming series, that's the series I'm looking forward to most. June 18th, 20th, 21st, right when things are, well, besides the World Cup, right when things are kind of calming down in sports with basketball and hockey just being over. I'm actually very excited about Phillies and Mets this summer coming up in June. I mean, now, will you see Friday at one of those Mets-Phillies games? Possibly. Maybe, like last year when we demolished the Mets 10-2. But we'll see. So
Let's get a New York sucks in the chat. Spam New York sucks, y'all.
But anyway,
do it in the
Can
comments.
you do like a KJ impression of KJ McCoy saying New York sucks, maybe?
New York stinks. KJ McCoy, New York stinks. KJ, the New York Mets are in last place. We're going to
Sounds just like him.
New York.
Oh, we got to work on that, but it cracks me up every time, and it cracks KJ up, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, this Phillies team, look, they have a long way to go. Like Freddie said, there's a lot of exciting baseball to still be played. I know that games like today can kind of feel demoralizing or get frustrating, but we need to remember that there's still plenty of baseball to be played. So just got to take it series by series, focus on winning the series, focus on kind of like advancing through that. And if you can win each series as the season goes on, you're going to be better than 500. But they need to be able to do that. Where they're at right now is not a bad spot, too. They're like right around 500, which is where they'd start if the season just started. So from this point on, May 24th, they need to win 2 out of 3 games every series. They need to put up 5 runs a game. They can't go 1 for 15 right-handed batting. They need to play more collective as a team. I, as a fan, will be collectively more watching them because now that the Sixers and the Flyers are out and the Eagles aren't even really in camp yet because it's May, I'm going to have time to invest in this team and be on this post-game show. So we're looking for more of a flagship sponsor. Nick's Pizza's been great, but we're looking for one for the 2025-2026 Phillies post-game season. So if you guys want to do that, let us know. I'm going to be on the hunt to figure that out over the next couple of weeks. But other than that, once we get that rocking, I mean, we're going to go all in with these Phillies post games because as the season progresses, we're going to only have more eyes on this Phillies team. This really is a make or break year for the Phillies. And I'm praying that it's that make because all of us have just been suffering for way too long. So fingers crossed, they'll get the job done. But huge thank you to Jesse and huge thank you to Fratty for holding it down. I know I've been kind of MIA The reason is I've just been trying to get other business deals and also stay on top of the content. But Jesse's been also doing a great job with that. Fratty's been doing a great job with his content and his memes. So make sure you guys follow Philly Sports Pulse and James Frat1 on Instagram. I'd really appreciate that. But other than that, expect to see me on here more often because this Phillies team is only going to have more eyes on them. I mean, right now, there's literally an old guy walking past my house with a red Phillies cap on, like salute. That's what it's all about. So I'm just praying that they can give the fans what we want and what we deserve because I feel like it's just kind of been way too long that we've been suffering. Like, it's time to win. It's time.
It is. It is. Well, Dalton said it best. For the best Phillies sports content in the world, go follow Philly Sports Pulse. Go follow 302 Birds on Instagram as well. Philly Sports Pulse, run by myself, does a ton of collaborations with those guys over there. And 302 Birds, I mean, come on. That's the place that you really want to go for the best Philly sports content in the world. But yeah, shout out Nick's Pizza for the sponsor. But again, like Dalton said, we're always looking for more people to help elevate the content to the next level. And we will obviously do the best we can to help elevate your local business as well. We're all about the local businesses here. Maybe not just in Delaware, but near my neck of the woods up in Upper Monco. But this is a 302 Birds account. So we love Balboa Steaks. We love Nick's Pizza. We love El Diablos. That's why they're with us, and that's why they're the best. But you know what? That's going to wrap things up for the Phillies postgame show. Want to thank Fratty for coming on. Want to thank Dalt for the lower third help. That helps a lot. Not sure exactly our plan for the Dodgers, the late Dodgers, the late Padres games coming up. Like Dalt said, we've been grinding it out for you guys. And
maybe we do a show the next day or like a series recap. If it's a 3-game series, maybe day 2, we'll do like a pregame rather, like maybe at 8:00 or something. So stay tuned if we do a pregame rather than a postgame, just because, look, we love our guys. Our guys work their tails off. I don't want these guys up until 2 a.m. unless they want to be, unless it's a very exciting game. I'm not saying that that's out of the question too. Maybe the Phillies win in an exhilarating 13-inning win, like 9-8 or something. Okay, maybe I'll be up. Maybe I'll help out. But just because I would rather tell you guys that than overpromise and underdeliver, we're going to just try to say we'll do our best, but maybe one pregame, and I can even help out with that because that would be a bunch of fun. And I just want to make sure that these guys are well rested so that when the Phillies get back on a normal schedule, they can keep doing what they're great at. That's what we want at 302 Birds. I mean, Fratty and Jesse are arguably the 2 biggest Phillies fans I know, which is why I love when I come on the show with them, because not only are they passionate, they know a lot, but I learn. So it's cool. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and come turn on your notifications so that every time we go live for the Phillies, win or lose, you can be here.
Absolutely. And we'll be back, at least on my end, in our normal setup in the next day or so. Shout out Seattle City, man. This place is the GOAT. I know it's 54 degrees, but the Phillies somehow got these games in, which is a miracle. But we made it work down here for sure, but we'll be back in our normal setup. I won't be doing this on a potato that is my iPhone, but it is what it is. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow in the normal setup. But I want to thank y'all for watching this edition of the Phillies Postgame Show. I'm Jess. That's Friday. Dalton all the way to the right. And let's go Phils.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Ballpark Tommy, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.